Good morning, everyone. As we continue to celebrate the university's 50th anniversary, we welcome you to the 47th annual commencement exercises for the baccalaureate candidates of the Constantin College of Liberal Arts and the College of Business, and for the post-baccalaureate candidates of the Braniff Graduate School of Liberal Arts. Please remain standing as the Chancellor, Bishop Charles Grauman, delivers the invocation.
Loving and gracious God, we gather in your name. As your creation, we celebrate and thank you and praise you for the gift of each life. You have also challenged us to be good stewards of the world in which we live. You have given us this opportunity to prepare ourselves for that stewardship so that our gifts can be placed at the service of your people. This morning we gather to celebrate this moment in the journey and experience of those who have accomplished and will receive their degrees. We ask your blessing upon them and their families, and of all who have had a part in their formation and education. We ask this blessing and all blessings through your Son, Jesus, who lives and reigns with you forever and ever.
Amen. Please be seated. I now invite President Lazarus to the podium.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this, the 47th commencement of the University of Dallas. On behalf of the trustees of the university, the administration, faculty, and staff, I would like to extend not only our welcome, but also our congratulations to these graduates of the class of 2006 on the academic achievements that have brought them to this day. I would also like today to offer a special welcome and note of gratitude to all the mothers who are in the audience this morning. And I would ask that all mothers, grandmothers, stepmothers, foster mothers, godmothers, and even den mothers would please stand and receive a round of applause from us for the love and support that you've given to your children. Thank you very much, and happy Mother's Day. In similar spirit, I would like to express a note of appreciation and thanks to the other members of the families of our graduates who have supported them in so many ways over the course of their academic endeavors. Thank you, all of you, each and every one, for your physical, intellectual, moral, spiritual, and yes, financial support of these students. And I can assure you that their efforts, accomplishments, and achievements over the course of their degree programs demonstrate to me and to the members of the faculty that your efforts and resources have been well spent on their education. I also welcome today the members of the university's Board of Trustees who are with us this morning and thank them for their loyal and dedicated service to the university. I welcome Bishop Grauman, our Grand Chancellor of the university, and our distinguished guest and honorary degree recipient, about whom I will have more to say in a moment, Archbishop J. Michael Miller. And finally, I would like to express my gratitude and appreciation, and the gratitude and appreciation of the students for the efforts of the faculty in forming and cultivating the arts of learning and living in the minds, hearts, and souls of our graduates. The faculty's success in building within these graduates the fruits of studying the liberal arts is evident in the many prizes, honors, fellowships, and other points of recognition and distinction garnered by the members of this class. But even more important to the students, I suspect, are the bonds of dedication, concern, and support that unite these teachers and scholars with this newest generation of UD alumni. These bonds will last for years, generations even, and will remain cherished memories of this university in the minds and hearts of our graduates. Heartfelt thanks, therefore, to the members of the faculty of the university. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I have the privilege of presenting the candidate for the degree of Doctor of Laws and Letters, honoris causa. I will read the citation for the degree, and Bishop Grauman will confer. Will the bishop please approach the podium, and will our candidate please rise and approach the center of the stage, together with the chairman of the Board of Trustees of the University, Mr. Harry Longwell. Most Reverend Bishop Grauman, it gives me great pleasure to recommend to you the grant of an honorary doctoral degree to an individual who has demonstrated through a career of teaching, scholarship, diplomacy, and service to the Academy, to several civil and religious communities, and to the Catholic Church globally, an outstanding example of Christian vocation and service that we are honored to present to our graduates for their edification and emulation. From his birthplace in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada in 1946, this candidate attended St. Michael's College of the University of Toronto, completing a degree in theology and seminary formation and being ordained a priest of the Congregation of St. Basil on June 29, 1975. He obtained a licentiate in dogmatic theology summa cum laude from the Pontifical Gregorian University in Rome in 1976, and a doctorate in theology, also summa cum laude, in 1979. Subsequently, our candidate served as professor of dogmatic theology at the University of St. Thomas in Houston, Texas, from 1979 through 1992, including 5 years as vice president of academic affairs at the university. From 1992 to 97, the candidate served the Holy Father in the Roman Curia as an official in the Secretariat of State for the Vatican, and he returned to St. Thomas as president of the university in 1992. In 1997. He remained president of St. Thomas until November 2003, when Pope John Paul II appointed him to the Roman Curia. He was ordained a bishop on January 12, 2004, and appointed titular Archbishop of Vertara, with appointment as Secretary of the Congregation for Catholic Education, the post in which he currently serves. He is the author of a number of books, including works on the nature of the papacy and the work of Pope John Paul II. He has written a number of both scholarly and homiletic articles, speaks globally about Catholic education and its transformative power for the modern world, and is a speaker of 4 and a reader of 6 languages. Most Reverend Bishop and Chancellor, for his contributions to Catholic education as teacher, scholar, administrator, and leader, for his service to the Church and the people of God as priest, archbishop, and member of the Roman Curia, and for his continuing interest in and accessibility to the Catholic edu community in Texas, I am honored to recommend that the University of Dallas confer upon Archbishop John Michael Miller the degree Doctor of Laws and Letters, honoris causa.
Through the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees and the University of Dallas, I hereby confer corporately upon Archbishop J. Michael Miller, CSB, the degree Doctor of Letters and Laws, honoris causa.
Bishop Grauman, President Lazarus, members of the Board of Trustees, administration, members of the faculty, distinguished graduates of the class of 2006, and ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations, first of all, to the graduating class of 2006. And my sincere thanks for honoring me with the degree, the Doctor of Letters, of Laws and Letters, honoris causa. It's certainly a privilege for me to join you this year's class. This morning, we express joyful gratitude to God for the long journey just ending and the new one beginning. Each graduate surely recognizes that his or her dreams for today have been realized through the friendship, prayers, and generosity of countless others. This is a time of Eucharist, of thanksgiving, for the community you have shared with one another here at the University of Dallas, for the parents and families who sacrificed for you, for the faculty and members of the staff who mentored and challenged you. With their selfless help, you have developed as a class the usually impressive and analytic skills that mark a UD education and a disciplinary competence that is the envy of many. Now, however, before you move on to the next phase of your life, there is this graduation address. It will be, I hope, brief. And I will tax your memory by asking that 10 years later, forget my name and remember one word, and that word is beauty. I want to speak to you this morning about the beauty of truth. Let me be clear that I understand a university to be first of all about the business of cultivating the mind. And for a Catholic university, and you are one of 1,300 around the world, that cultivation is done in light of the Catholic faith. UD's strong commitment to the Catholic intellectual tradition, embodied in its core curriculum, has inculcated in you the sentiment expressed so well by St. Augustine, intellectum valde ama, love your own mind with a fierce intensity. You have, I hope, been consumed by that desire to know and to know without bounds, and have experienced the joy, the true joy of searching for, discovering, and learning to venerate the truth. The passion for truth informs the curriculum at UD and opens it to beauty. Truth is beautiful in itself. Indeed, in the words of our beloved Holy Father John Paul II, truth is splendid. Truth in words rationally expresses knowledge of created and uncreated reality. Such truth, we know, but truth can also be expressed in other ways, especially when it evokes what is beyond words, the depths of the human heart, the ecstasy of the soul, the mystery of the triune God. These experiences of the beauty of truth involve our whole being, our emotions, our imagination, our creativity, our intelligence. Whenever we discover the beautiful, what we find shining forth is the truth. Beauty has a pedagogical power that introduces us to knowledge of the truth. That is what you have learned at UD. That is the heritage you carry with you. While many of our contemporaries are often little moved by the claims of truth, they do respond to what is expressed in nature, art, music, or especially in the experience of human love. Even the tough postmodern heart is captivated by beauty. I think that it is precisely because of this, the power of beauty, that the present Pope, Benedict XVI, in preparing the recently published Compendium of the Catechism of the Catholic Church, insisted that in every published edition there be included a series of artistic images drawn from the heritage of East and West, images that he himself selected. And in promulgating the Catechism, he wrote, "Artists of every age have offered the principal facts of the mystery of salvation to the contemplation and wonder of believers by presenting them in the splendor of color and in the perfection of beauty. An artistic expression of faith in painting, sculpture, music, architecture can often do more to enhance the intellectual grasp of a proposition than even the finest verbal exposition." Dear graduates, as you leave this alma mater, you will be facing a world where the curtain so often seems to have been drawn on authentic beauty. We have downgraded beauty to mere appearance. We have made it an adjunct to be at best quality controlled, at worst exploited. And many even despise beauty as a relic of an outgrown and perhaps what they call a bourgeois past. People and things are reduced to a superficiality without depth, an enjoyment, mere passing pleasure. This counterfeit, and it is counterfeit, can be at first blush dazzling, but it is a beauty that does not bring human beings out of themselves, does not open them to the ecstasy of rising to the heights. Rather, it locks them tightly in themselves. False beauty fails to awaken a longing for the ineffable. It fails to awaken readiness for sacrifice or the abandonment of self, but instead stirs up the desire or the will for power, for possession, and for mere pleasure. If we deny the invitation present in every beautiful thing to go beyond it, to transcend it, if we deny that, we negate beauty's value as a sign. St. Augustine refers to this bitter experience when he wrote, confessing to God, speaking of the time before his conversion, "I threw myself, O Lord, on the beautiful things you created. Your creatures, which would not have existed except in you, kept me apart from you." He was, of course, seduced by the appearance of beauty, but not by beauty itself. Whether beauty or ugliness leads to the deepest truth of reality is a question that haunts many of our contemporaries. A few years ago, Cardinal Ratzinger framed this question, and this painful question, very well when he said, "Can the beautiful be genuine, or is it only an illusion? Isn't reality perhaps basically evil? The fear that in the end it is not the arrow of the beautiful that leads us to the truth, but that falsehood, all that is ugly and vulgar, may constitute reality. And this has caused people anguish." A response to this despair about the beautiful can perhaps be found in looking to the opening pages of sacred scripture. The book of Genesis describes the work of the Creator as good, or as the Hebrew word would have it, as beautiful. God saw how good it was. God saw how beautiful it was. In a certain sense, then, beauty is the visible form of the good, just as the good is the metaphysical condition of beauty. Beauty, then, can be a key to unlocking the world's mystery and a call to transcendence. It is an invitation to contemplate the goodness and wonder of life. But for this to happen, we need, and you graduates need, to foster in yourselves a contemplative outlook which recognizes and savors the beautiful. This is the outlook of those who see life in its deeper meaning, who grasp its gratuity, its beauty, its invitation to freedom and responsibility. This contemplative outlook does not presume to possess reality, but to accept it as a gift. It discovers in all things the reflection of the Creator and sees in every person his living image. We all know, and certainly UD graduates know, Dostoevsky's oft-quoted yet enigmatic sentence in The Idiot, "The beautiful will save us." Or in another translation, "Beauty will save the world." Reflecting on this statement, Alexander Solzhenitsyn asked, we might ask, what does this mean? Beauty will save the world. Just how could such a thing be possible? When has it ever happened in the bloodthirsty course of history that beauty has saved the world, has saved anyone from anything? Beauty has provided the embellishment, certainly, given uplift, but whom has it ever saved? What Solzhenitsyn might have forgotten is that Dostoevsky was referring here to the beautiful reality of the Word made flesh, to the saving beauty of Christ. Here we face a paradox at the heart of Christianity. Christ, who is the fairest of the children of men, is also the one who had neither beauty nor majesty, nothing to attract our eyes, and no grace to make us delight in him. Even so, in this face, so disfigured, genuine beauty appears. In the suffering Christ, we learn that the beauty of truth also embraces offense, pain, and even the mystery of death. To be enamored of beauty, then, does not cause us to close our eyes on the world's suffering. A suffering which, as graduates of a Catholic university, you must embrace as your own. You will be called, regardless of your profession, to wrestle with the long and almost unending list of the world's woes. Your UD education should make you uncomfortable with the front pages of newspapers, the sound bites of television, those that show starvation and even genocide in Darfur, terrorism in the Middle East, political and entrepreneurial corruption, defenseless children and vulnerable people of all ages whose lives are casually ended, often in the name of compassion. The world situation at the dawn of the third millennium is still a gathering storm. But this is your time. This is your kairos. This is your challenge. Fortunately, you have learned here at UD that serious attention, critical attention, must be paid to the religious and ethical dimensions of the world's problems if any enduring solutions are to be proposed and implemented. As the Holy Father wrote in his recent encyclical, Deus Caritas Est, building a just social and civil order, he said, wherein each person receives what is his or her due, is an essential task to which every generation must apply itself. You are now that generation. You now have that responsibility of understanding the requirements of justice and ensuring that they will be achieved in practice. But whatever you do, most of all, you bear witness to the memory of the beautiful. Beauty, authentic beauty, let your good deeds so shine before others that they give glory to the Father in heaven. Can also be translated, let your beautiful deeds shine forth. Blessed Teresa of Calcutta got it right once again when she said that we can have no higher aspiration than making of our life the doing of something beautiful for God. Wise words of a saintly woman. Wise words for those of you embarking on the next stage of your pilgrimage. You are entrusted, and it is a divine trust, like an artist, with the task of crafting your life. You are to make of it a work of art, a masterpiece, something beautiful for the one who is himself beauty. As you leave the UD community, which has sustained you so mightily, I encourage you to foster and to love all that is beautiful, the splendor of the truth and goodness that shine forth in all their manifestations. May God bless you, the graduates of the class of 2006, and in the richness of his mercy, may the good Lord bless this, our University of Dallas. Thank you.
Thank you, Archbishop Miller. At this time, President Lazarus will formally confer degrees on the candidates. Will all candidates for both undergraduate and graduate degrees please stand?
Through the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the University of Dallas, and upon the recommendation of the respective faculties of the Braniff Graduate School, the Constantine College of Liberal Arts, and the College of Business, I hereby confer these degrees upon presentation to each of you individually on this, the 14th day of May, 2006, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining.
You may be seated until you are called to receive your diploma. Your Excellency, colleagues, graduates, and friends, your program includes a comprehensive list of candidates for graduation, naming those who qualified for degrees in August and December, and announcing the names of students eligible for degrees from the University of Dallas at the 47th Annual Commencement. The names of students in absentia will not be called. At this time, I invite the Dean of the Braniff Graduate School of Liberal Arts, Dr. David Sweet, to the podium to present the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy from the Institute of Philosophic Studies.
It is a long-awaited and distinct pleasure to present these candidates for degrees in the Braniff Graduate School of Liberal Arts. The mission of the Braniff Graduate School is an extension of the mission of Constantine College, taken to the next level and aimed at producing others who will know how to teach in the spirit of this mission and to make it their profession. That is to say, the aim of the Braniff Graduate School is to produce teachers who will be an ameliorating influence in American higher education, who will resist the forces of narrow specialization and ephemeral partisanship and stultifying dogmatism that so often beset it elsewhere, and who will renew the cleansing and illuminating power that learning, in conjunction with compassion, should have in our nation. It is with great pleasure, therefore, that we gather today to award these degrees to our graduates. They have toiled long in the vineyards, and the wine is now ready. Soon they will go forth to serve it in other schools and colleges and universities. They are our emissaries, who will take out into other institutions our understanding of education, of how it is that the liberal arts, when studied aright, free the mind and the heart of prejudice, and elevate our vision so that we can see the highest things, and in the light of them, lead lives of consequence in the love of truth and in the service of others. Candidates for the highest degree awarded in the liberal arts, the Doctor of Philosophy. Will the candidates for the PhD please step forward? Joshua David Avery, Doctor of Philosophy and Literature. The title of his dissertation, Falstaff and the Human Condition. Dutton Brooks Carney, Doctor of Philosophy. Rufel Flores Ramos, Doctor of Philosophy and Literature. The title of her dissertation, My Kind of Comedy, an exegetical reading of Flannery O'Connor as medieval drama. Matthew Dickerson Haydock, Doctor of Philosophy in Philosophy. His dissertation title, Hegel, Kierkegaard, and the Limits of Rationality. Timothy Paul Herman, Doctor of Philosophy in Philosophy. His dissertation title, A Capacity for the Divine, an Ontological Perspective on the Human Soul, and Augustine's Confessions. Melvin V. LeBlanc, Jr., Doctor of Philosophy in Philosophy. Dissertation title, Anerkennung, Hegel's Refutation of Walker Percy. William George Miller, Doctor of Philosophy in Politics. His dissertation title, Moral Legislation and Early American State Constitutions and Legislation. PhD, let us applaud their achievements.
We will now present the candidates for all other degrees in the Braniff Graduate School. Will the candidates for master's degrees please come forward? For the degree Master of Arts in English, Kathleen Medaille Blewett. Clemens Christian Raab. Ariane Lindsay Thompson. Mary Jo Miller White. For the degree Master of Arts in Humanities, Fred Millen Fraser. For the degree Master of Arts in Politics, Mark Lance Lusk. For the degree Master of Arts in Psychology, Emalinda Leilani McSpadden. For the degree Master of English, Jessica Lenice Hooten. Elizabeth Louise Jones. Tiffany Rachel Larson. Bethany Ann Lewis. Maya T. Wynn. For the degree Master of Humanities, Kathleen Tucker Carroll. Brian Philip Hutchison. John Michael Lewis. Laura Ann Vial. For the degree Master of Pastoral Ministry, Nancy E. Weber. For the degree Master of Theology, Robert Vincent Hanson. Sarah Marie Hayes. Jacqueline K. Smith.
I'm gonna find it.
For the degree Master of Theological Studies, Maria Elena Dempsey. James Robert Novak. Jorge Luis Pineda. Nina Michelle Vincent. Let us recognize these students and their accomplishments. Ladies and gentlemen, each year the university recognizes particular outstanding Constantin and College of Business seniors through commencement awards. The background of these awards is given in your program. Seniors, faculty, and staff are invited to submit nominations, and a faculty committee makes the final selections. The committee consisted of Drs. Brown Marsden, Claude Felter, Doe, Doherty, Jodzowitz, Kenny, and Pastrito, chaired by myself. The awards were kept secret until this time. The Helen Corbett Award is given annually to a senior woman and senior man who have produced an outstanding body of work during their time at the university. Award recipients are selected from among students nominated for demonstrating excellence in academic pursuits, in student activities, and in general service. I shall read both citations and then announce their names, asking them at that time to come forward and receive their awards. A magna cum laude graduate today in English with a studio art concentration. Today's first Corbett Award winner understands, even personifies, principles of artistic composition. As design, perspective, color, and figure effortlessly meld in the fully realized work of art, this community activist, dancer, artist, and scholar embodies many dimensions in a fully realized life. As a member of Alpha Phi Omega, she worked on several community service projects and served as event coordinator in 2000. She led her homeless shelter from 2002 through 2005. In 2005, she spearheaded the single largest university-sponsored community service project, co-chairing Charity Week activities that raised $16,000 for various philanthropic causes. As a ballet dancer with Ballet Arkansas and the McAfee Ballet, she has performed in numerous productions, but again, finding a larger context in which to share her talent, she co-founded the UD Dance Club and served as ballet teacher. An accomplished and award-winning painter, she has exhibited her work in Washington, D.C. She is a 5-time winner of the Artists in the Forest exhibition and has presented 2 solo shows at the Cox Creative Center. A National Merit Full Tuition Scholarship winner, she has excelled in English, her chosen discipline, meriting induction into Phi Beta Kappa. Her junior poet paper on Gerard Manley Hopkins was selected for presentation at the National Hopkins Conference held at Regis University in 2005. Next fall, she will pursue a graduate study in literature at Catholic University with a full tuition scholarship. Like the beautiful paintings she creates, in this young woman, many talents compose a work of extraordinary quality that enriches all who see it. Praising our second Corbett Award winner's senior thesis, his professor said, "You have a great voice." While he is an accomplished violist and choral singer and a dedicated cross-country athlete and sailor, it is in speaking that he demonstrates the qualities that we recognize today, and speaking several languages. A magna cum laude graduate today in English with a Spanish concentration, he is fluent in both languages and Pennsylvania Dutch. He is the recipient of merit scholarships in both departments. He has 3 times dedicated his spring break to service projects in Mexico, spent a summer teaching English to secondary students in Spain and Portugal, and worked with street children at a shelter in Chile. His voice commands attention among his peers here on campus as well. He serves on the Student Government Executive Council as president of SPUD, Student Programming at UD. And while that means he oversees the planning of Groundhog and Malapalooza, it also means that voices enrich campus life. Word events, Tidget and Cap House performances. His rhetorical persuasion was perhaps most evident in the inaugural Tower Film Festival. He not only organized the event, his film, Life at UD, won first prize. The Corbett Award winner's voice will continue to reverberate after he graduates today. He is often seen around campus in his role as student ambassador, engaging prospective students and their families in lively conversations, no doubt persuading many of them by his own example that this is where their highest aspirations will be realized. We are honored today to be in the company of Catherine Elizabeth Wolfe and John Marvin Rhodes. The Ann Heller Mayberry Award has been given annually for 35 years to an outstanding woman graduate of the university. The award is given in memory of the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Frank Heller, longtime patrons of the university. You have seen this year's Mayberry Award winner in unexpected places. In the Hager foyer teaching salsa lessons. In the woods before daylight, that crazy runner. In a barn, cleaning stalls and leading horses for handicapped therapeutic riding lessons. At the St. Joseph Residence for the Elderly, singing and playing games in Spanish with the residents. And the lab, always the lab, whether tutoring other students or doing her own research. She exemplifies the quality of arete, excellence that warrants the special recognition in athletics, in scholarship, and in service to the community. As a member of the cross-country and track team, she holds 9 school records, has earned the title of Most Valuable Runner 3 times, Most Valuable Athlete twice, has earned the Student Athlete Award for 2004-2005, given to that lettering athlete who maintains the highest cumulative GPA, and has been selected by her peers as team captain for 2 consecutive years. With the help of the Dr. Frank J. Doe Summer Scholar Award, she spent 10 weeks in the summer of 2005 doing biomedical research in the Department of Pulmonary and Critical Care at the University of Chicago, under the supervision of Dr. Julian Solway, Vice Chairman for Research in the Department of Medicine, Professor of Pediatrics, and Chairman of the Committee on Molecular Medicine. He called her simply remarkable, saying, "She is easily the best college student I've ever had in the lab." A summa cum laude graduate today with a BS in biology and a Spanish concentration. This Sister Cladovia Lockett Scholarship winner will enter St. Louis University Medical School this fall. The Ann Heller Mayberry Award for 2006 is awarded to Elena Marie Yates. The Cardinal Spellman Award is maintained by interest on a special fund given by His Eminence the late Francis Cardinal Spellman, and is presented each year to assist an outstanding senior in his or her further studies. This year's Spellman Award winner has boundary issues. In student government, athletics, community service, and academics, he rushes to the highest levels of success in each field, then surpasses them. Containing a complete list of his accomplishments within this brief citation is not possible. Earning dual degrees, a BS in biology and a BA in history with a medieval and Renaissance studies concentration, he has earned close to 30 credits more than the minimum required, while maintaining a summa cum laude grade point average. He is a National Merit Full Scholarship winner, a finalist for both the Rhodes and Fulbright scholarships. He was inducted into Phi Beta Kappa and Phi Alpha Theta as a junior. His score on the MCAT set a school record. He has been active in student affairs since his freshman year, serving as SPUD president as a freshman and initiating the peer mentoring program. He was elected student government president in his senior year and is a constantly visible presence on campus. He is a frequent contributor and regular columnist for the UD News. He is a member of UD's highly successful club rugby team and served as its team captain this year. Surpassing the boundary of the university community, he has spent 3 spring breaks doing volunteer work at Ciudad de los Niños in Mexico and taught English to secondary students in Spain. He coordinates volunteer efforts at the Low Birth Weight Development Center and was a Parkland Hospital Collegiate Fellow in the summer of 2005. In every aspect of his scholarship, he exceeds expectations. The director of his senior history project, a study of the development of the early papacy, called it a master's thesis. His Eminence Avery Cardinal Dulles has encouraged him to publish it. One of his biology professors says, "The seriousness of purpose that pervades his academic life is, or should be, apparent to anyone who knows him. He is one of the best I have ever seen." He is assured a bright future, but he still will not be easily constrained. Having been accepted into the University of Texas Southwestern Medical School, he has chosen to defer his matriculation and pursue a master's in philosophy at Oxford University. And he hasn't even heard about the Fulbright yet. The Francis Cardinal Spellman Award for 2006 is presented to a capacious intellect and a magnanimous soul. Thomas Francis Wanderley Patrick Joseph Hyde. It is now my distinct pleasure to present, in the name of the faculty, the two most prestigious undergraduate awards. Medals and checks are presented to the two students in the graduating class who have earned the highest overall grade point averages. The faculty medal for the student with the second highest cumulative GPA, an average of 3.984, is awarded to Mary Christine Kolner. The faculty medal for the student earning the highest honors is presented to the outstanding student who has achieved the highest cumulative GPA in the undergraduate class of 2006, an average of 4.0. This honor goes to Thomas Francis Hyde. Let us once again applaud the extraordinary accomplishments of all these graduates. I now ask Mr. Stan Muckenthaler, current president of the National Alumni Board, to extend a welcome to the class of 2006.
Thank you, Dr. Burke. Well, that's a tough act to follow, so I'll be brief. Good morning to you, graduates, class of 2006, the newest additions to the University of Dallas Alumni Association. I arrived early this morning and drove around campus a little bit. Had a cup of coffee with Bob Galecki and Dr. Frank Doe. Always a pleasure to have a conversation with staff and faculty here at the university. Being from Houston and California these last 20 years, I haven't seen all the changes around campus, how beautiful the campus looks. There's a new science building since I was here. The grass has turned green. There's flowers. It's an amazing place, and I know 20, 30 years from now when you come back and you look back and You have the memories. You'll just be in awe, the same as I have been. But many things remain the same. Gregory Hall, all the quiet study places around campus, and that tree down the mall where my undergarments were placed one night. Also this morning I ran into David in security, and he wearily walked over to my car to shake my hand and said, "Stan, it's been a long weekend." Haven't the facilities and the securities folks done a fantastic job getting this place ready for you today? It was 30 years ago when I walked across the stage, as you will today. There are some folks in this audience who had doubts then about whether I would graduate, much less be standing here today addressing you. Namely, some of our fine faculty. Take Dr. John Alvis, for instance. I actually read the Iliad and the Odyssey, and could I do no better than a B? No. Tell me, does Dr. Alvis still deliver his lectures while gazing out the window? Does he smile now that he doesn't have to read the essays from the class of 1975? And Bruce Evans. Now there's a professor that never stops smiling. And Dr. Kurtzinger. You could not spend a semester in Rome with a better professor and his family. So patient and understanding with us as we explored worlds we had only dreamed of. So whether your favorite faculty members are these or whether they're newer faces here on campus, we clearly owe our gratitude to these professors who have shared their time, their talents, and their experiences with us, and who have so significantly touched our lives. Let's give a round of applause to our wonderful faculty. I've had the pleasure these last 4 years of serving on the National Alumni Board, a group of 30 individuals who represent the 20,000 plus alumni of the university. I've been so impressed with what our alumni have done with their lives, pursuing graduate school, religious life, careers in education, science, business, nonprofits, politics, or dozens of other occupations. As you become a lifetime alum of the University of Dallas, you can benefit from various programs such as our regional chapters, career networking, and communications from UD on various topics and events. In return, I invite you to get involved as your predecessors have in taking an active role in helping the university become all it can be through your contributions of time, talent, and treasure. You will help define the future of the University of Dallas, and I'm looking forward to your participation and leadership in the UD Alumni Association. Thank you, good luck in all your future endeavors, and may God bless you as you continue your life journey. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Muckenthaler. At this time, I invite to the podium that graduate elected by her classmates to deliver the valedictory address, Miss Rebecca Ann Longton.
Bishop Grauman, Archbishop Miller, members of the Board of Trustees, President Lazarus, academic deans, faculty, alumni, family, friends, and fellow members of the class of 2006. In the grand tradition of UD students, I composed this speech late last night after invoking one of the least recognized muses, Last Minute Panic. Of all the muses, she's most inspiring. Before I begin my speech, I would like to address the parents of my classmates, and especially the mothers, as it is Mother's Day. Thank you for raising some of the most amazing individuals that I have met. It is clear from their strong characters, giving hearts, and the love of life that these students come from good people. They brought the love of their families here, and that love nourishes our community at UD. Over the past 4 years, our class has become a family. I truly feel as though your sons and daughters are my brothers and sisters, and I thank you for sharing them with me. I also want to thank my own family for encouraging and supporting me all these years. Our parents make this moment of great pride, our graduation, possible. And now that I've made my mother cry, I will continue my speech. In the process of writing this speech, I sought inspiration in the writings of people who love and truly understand the liberal arts and the act of learning. I wanted to conjure a deep spring of insight into what our education at UD means. But instead of turning to the usual suspects, John Henry Newman, G.K. Chesterton, C.S. Lewis, Mr. T, or writings from the core, I delved into the writings of the people who have had the most direct influence over our minds, the UD faculty. The passion, intelligence, and wisdom of our professors have been the guiding light of our education. With this sentiment in mind, I read books written by our faculty in preparation for this speech. I studied our professors' thoughts on education, the humanities, and the intellectual virtues. I am pleased to present the results of my study to you this morning. A book called Invitation to the Classics played a key role in my endeavor to reflect on our UD education. It is a compilation of essays, many of them written by UD faculty, on various books that are considered classics, many of them a part of UD's core curriculum. Our beloved Dr. Louise Cowan edited and wrote an introduction to this book entitled The Importance of the Classics. With humbleness, I would like to borrow her insights to illuminate the character of our UD education, and then I will describe how my classmates manifest the character of this education. Dr. Cowan describes the content of our education, the classic books we read, not as a canon of prescribed writings, but as something living that continually renews itself. She states that these books are the formed thought and imagination of humanity, tested over time, altering their perspective, and sometimes their entire meaning, with every new reader courageous enough to wrestle with their inexhaustible vitality. The life of a classic book is not contained in its pages, but in what the reader takes from engaging in the book's vitality. For this reason, the character of our education cannot be understood in a list of aphorisms or catchphrases. We must understand our education by how we live after encountering these books. So, to fully characterize our UD education, I will describe the lives of its students as reflections of their encounters with the classics. First, I will present a few of the defining characteristics of a classic that Dr. Cowan identifies in her essay, and then I will describe how my classmates live out these characteristics. First of all, the characters not only have distinguished style, fine artistry, and keen intellect, but they also create whole universes of imagination and thought. Our class certainly does have a distinguished style. Last week at Convocation, Dr. Roper characterized us as, quote, really weird, unquote, and we have admittedly earned such a title. We engage in the act of learning with playfulness and childlike wonder. For our class, philosophy and literary musings seamlessly flow into the music and celebrations of our social life. There is not a separation between learning and play, between our studies and real life. What we learn becomes the universe in which we live. A wonderful example of this phenomenon is Kate Wolf's invention of philosophy dancing, in which one chants the names of philosophers while trying to capture their key concepts in dance-like motions. A UD student never leaves their studies behind them, but lives in the world that those studies have created. Another characteristic of a classic is that it has a transforming effect on the reader's self-understanding. A classic invites us to self-examination. We learn about ourselves and our humanity. Like the great books, My classmates have taught me so much about what it means to be human. They are virtuous and reflective people. Recently, a student held a trench coat burning party in which he marked the end of our journey together at UD by burning the trench coat that was his distinguishing trademark since freshman year. The burning of the trench coat signifies moving from the comfort and regularity of life at UD to an unknown future. Dan Madai's symbolic action was preceded by a moving speech in which he challenged us to embrace the change that lies before us. It was an interesting moment. There was a sad sense of loss, a concept that what we treasure every day at UD will soon be nothing but the cinders of memory, and yet it was a celebration. Dan made us celebrate the transition we were all dreading. He called us to move into the future with openness and optimism. Emulating the spirit of our education, this student made us examine our lives. This is one example of the many times in which a student transformed my self-understanding. While Dr. Cowan lists many more characteristics of classics, the last quality that I will discuss is the fact that classics invite and survive frequent rereadings. This quality is especially relevant today as we anticipate saying goodbye to each other. We are finishing the last page of our narrative here at UD, but that does not mean closing the book for good. You have all been the source of many beautiful memories, memories that will not lose their vitality and meaning with time. I will continually recount the moments in which we learned from each other, and these 4 years we've shared will be a touchstone for the rest of my life. I will come back to my time at UD again and again, because I know that there is a wealth of meaning embedded in what we have experienced here. And so, when I say goodbye to you today, I know that I'm not truly saying goodbye to you. I will have you with me, whether it is in your art, your music, your words, or the beauty of our shared memories that keeps you with me. The laughter and joy of these 4 years will echo throughout the rest of my life and resound in my thoughts and actions. UD, thank you for educating me.
Thank you, Rebecca. Before the May candidates are invited to the stage to receive their diplomas and hoods, we recognize the students who are participating in the ceremony but are within 6 credits or the thesis or comprehensives of completing their degrees in August or December. As we have no ceremony at those times, we recognize these students now, congratulate them on their achievements thus far, and urge them on to completion. Will the candidates for August degrees please come forward? Catherine Evangeline Earhart. Vanessa R. Bruce. Michael Glenn Cave. Kevin Michael Cook. Joseph Castillo Corpus. Jessica A. Kramer. J. W. Dawson. Matthew J. DeFusco. Kelly Rose Dupin. Margaret Mary Elizabeth Forget. Hampton Elliott Frost. Megan Elizabeth Fury. Rebecca Ann Gonzer. Stephanie Diane Hamilton. Jennifer Ann Hoitzma. Christopher Paul Jameson. Frank Rudolph Carico. Paula Cañero Montero Link. Christine Michelle Mahone. Adrian P. Mishak. Heather Rose O'Connell. Francis Okupa. Stephen Michael Parker. Christian Scott Patterson. Alpha George Jedediah Preble. Clifford Paul Riley. Joshua Wade Rodriguez. Sarah Ann Solomon. Bridget Marie Surser. Nathaniel Edward Caldwell Smith. Jacob Alexander Tice. Brooke Amber Tucker. We now present diplomas to candidates for the Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science degrees. Some of the baccalaureate degrees will be awarded with distinction to students who have maintained a high degree of scholastic excellence. Such distinction is of 3 grades. The designation cum laude is awarded to students who have maintained a cumulative 3.4 GPA. A magna cum laude designation is given to students with a 3.7 average. The summa cum laude designation is awarded to students with a 3.9 out of 4.0 average. I will announce the major, concentration, and significant other awards. It is now my pleasure to present the candidates for degrees from the Constantine College of Liberal Arts and the College of Business. Margaret Alexis Abbott, Drama and English, Phi Beta Kappa, the Catherine Marin Sorensen Award for English, summa cum laude. Charles Michael Abide, Business Leadership. Mark Joseph Abide, Business Leadership. Amanda D. Acevedo, Interdisciplinary Studies. Stephen Dwayne Alsop, Jr., Business Leadership.
Very good.
Ryan Campion Alvarez, biology, cum laude. Vicky Alvarez, business leadership, financial accounting concentration, Spanish concentration.
Look at this!
Kathleen Isabel Caros Arn, politics, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Emily Parker Austin, classical philology, Greek, Phi Beta Kappa, the Father Placid Gismasia Award in Classics, summa cum laude. J. Calvin Ayler, politics, international studies concentration. Trista Lynn Baker, English. Therese Marie Bart, English, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Paul Joseph Beyer, philosophy, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Samantha Jane Bednars, interdisciplinary studies, Spanish concentration. Dylan O. Bice, business leadership. Philip David Blackston, theology. Justine E. Bolmarsich, psychology, cum laude. Annalisa Banda, modern languages, French, Spanish concentration, cum laude. Madeline Renee Brink, history, Spanish concentration, cum laude. Bethany Marie Brown, art history. Christopher Ross Buford, economics. Rebecca Lynn Burgess, English, French concentration. Jason Matthew Butler, English, cum laude. Nicholas F. Campbell, history, cum laude. Belén Castillo de Molina, philosophy, theology, Spanish concentration, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Allison Jo Chadwick, politics, French concentration. Mary Grace Chadwick, English, provost recognition. Catherine Elizabeth Chauvette, history. Sarah Caitlin Chisholm, English. Eric Daniel Christensen, theology. Megan Suzanne Clark, philosophy. Matthew Angelo Colvin, psychology, Spanish concentration, cum laude. Jared Michael Cook, biology. Lydia Ruth Cooper, chemistry, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Michael Baynard Sterling Cowan, English, cum laude. Charles Lane Cowan, drama, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. Elizabeth Marie Cox, interdisciplinary studies. Elizabeth A. Cross, interdisciplinary studies. Michael Thomas Cusack, business leadership, cum laude. Philip Eligius Danzy, business leadership, corporate ethics, and social responsibility concentration. Joseph John D'Artes, philosophy, applied physics concentration, cum laude. Maria Carolina de Bruyne, modern language, Spanish. Sashana Elise Decker, classical philology, Latin, Phi Beta Kappa. Father Placid Gismasia Award in Classics, summa cum laude. Dora Gabriela Decani, politics, Spanish concentration, Phi Beta Kappa. The Wilmore Kendall Award for Politics, summa cum laude. Amy Ditzel, English, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Constance Ann Dreisbach, modern language, Spanish, outstanding Spanish major award, cum laude. Patrick J. Eichholz, English, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Sarah Therese Erickson, English, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Jill Alexandra Farrington, English. Frederique Minane Faucheur, biology. Michelle Marie Fernandez, psychology. Kelly Marie Fedorek, theology, cum laude. Carrie Therese Fisher, psychology. Megan Elizabeth Flood, history, student government treasurer. Caitlin Elizabeth Forst, theology, history with a medieval and Renaissance studies concentration, cum laude. Marie B. Frando, psychology, cum laude. William Charles Frank, English, studio art concentration, language concentration, cum laude. Stephen N. Fry, theology, French concentration, cum laude. Jonathan Michael Friedel, drama. Christopher Jérôme Louis Funk, English. Jim George, biology, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Benjamin D. Gibson, English, cum laude. Adrienne Elizabeth Gompertz, art history. Stacy Christine Hamilton, interdisciplinary studies. Catherine Cecilia Harkins, interdisciplinary studies, Spanish concentration. Marianne Josephine Hartman, history, international studies concentration, French concentration, German concentration, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Marianne Elizabeth Heel, interdisciplinary studies, Spanish concentration, the McDermott Award in Education. Richard David Heegan Jr., philosophy, Phi Beta Kappa, the Father Thomas Kane Aquinas Medal in Philosophy, summa cum laude. Daniel G. Heim, philosophy. Janie Mary Aline Heim, English, studio art concentration. Javier Hernandez Maciel, English, with a Spanish concentration. Jaime F. Heran, politics, cum laude. Thomas Francis Wanderley Patrick Joseph Hine, biology, medieval Renaissance studies concentration, Phi Beta Kappa, student government president, the Father Louis J. Lacaille Award for History, summa cum laude. Colleen Rose Higgins, art, painting. Kimberly Ann Hilger, modern language, Spanish. Rosamond Eleanor Hodge, English, language concentration, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. Stephen Christopher Holmes, mathematics, computer science concentration. Jennifer Marie Horvath, politics, international studies concentration, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Aaron James Hulsman, English. Mary Teresa Israel, English, Biology, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. Mary Lee Janeshko, Theology, Kappa Delta Pi. Angela Marie Johnson, Interdisciplinary Studies. Robert Andrew Johnson, English. Andrew James Junker, English, Classics Concentration. The Catherine Marin Sorensen Award for English, cum laude. Matthew Joseph Jura, English, Vice President of the Student Government Senate. James T. Kennelly, Theology. David Thomas Kerala, Economics and Finance. Margaret Klassen, Theology, cum laude. Mary Christine Kolner, English, Medieval Renaissance Studies Concentration, Phi Beta Kappa, Second Academic Honors, the Frances Marie Manning Award for English, summa cum laude. Justin W. LeBon, History. Justin P. Leland, English, Computer Science Concentration, Studio Art Concentration. Aaron Ray Linderman, History, International Studies Concentration, Medieval and Renaissance Studies Concentration, Phi Beta Kappa, the Father Louis J. Lacaille Award for History, summa cum laude. Benjamin Robert Little, Politics, cum laude. Cara Elizabeth Lockridge, English. Rebecca Ann Longton, Philosophy, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. Kate Meredith Loudenslagle, Politics, Student Government Secretary, cum laude. Allison Marie McNeely, Business Leadership. Cara Marie Maggiore, History. Joel Anthony Makos, Theology. Jim Cherokara Matthew, Politics. Barry Arthur McCain, Economics and Finance. Wall Street Journal Student Achievement Award in Economics, cum laude. Catherine Ann Meckler, History, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Daniel Patrick Maydai, English. Diana Araceli Medina, Biology, Language Concentration. Celina Angelica Meraz, Interdisciplinary Studies. Howell Wojciech Michniewski, Business Leadership. Carlo Adrian Molano, Politics, Italian Concentration. Coleman Price Moore, Business Leadership. Michelle Moran, English. Alexandra Morrow, Business Leadership, Corporate Ethics and Social Responsibility Concentration. Business Leadership Faculty Award for Outstanding Senior, cum laude. Saleh Mushir, Business Leadership, the Robert Lynch Entrepreneurial Promise Award, magna cum laude. Kathleen Michelle Brown Nance, Psychology, the Adrian von Kamm Award in Psychology, cum laude. John Thomas Nelson, Politics, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Nguyen Tan Dat, Philosophy and Letters. Tuetan T. Nguyen, Biology, cum laude. Timothy Daniel Norden, History, Latin Concentration. Amber D. Nair, Business Leadership. Michelle Ann Paget, English, cum laude. Cristina Padilla Orozco, Interdisciplinary Studies, Spanish Concentration. Adam Douglas Papania, English, cum laude. Teresa Marie Perales, English, cum laude. Victor Carlos Perez, Philosophy and Letters, cum laude. Krista Dawn Rafe, Interdisciplinary Studies, cum laude. Austin Carey Ron, Business Leadership, French Concentration, summa cum laude. Logan W. Rainey, Business Leadership, Marketing Concentration, cum laude. Otto Augusto Reyes Gambini, Economics. John Marvin Rhodes, English, Spanish Concentration, Vice President of Student Government Programming, magna cum laude. Natasha Andrea Rios, Philosophy. Nathan Anthony Rizzo, Psychology. Abby Lauren Roberts, Interdisciplinary Studies. Daniel Patrick Rueda, History, International Studies concentration. John Luis Rueda, Biology, Environmental Studies concentration. Jennifer Louise Fauché Russell, Art History. Joelle Maureen Saliba, History. Sharon Elizabeth Salmon, English. George Gregory Sanders, Philosophy and Letters. Alan Brian Sawiris, Business Leadership. Jessica Lynn Schnepp, English, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. John Michael Schuler, History, Italian concentration. Kelly Elaine Schofield, Politics. Matthew Dominic Sersely, Mathematics, Computer Science concentration. Ashley Ryan Shaughnessy, Art History. Karen Elizabeth Smith, Biology. Lourdes Spinola Rabasa, Biology, Spanish concentration. Corey F. Stein, Economics and Finance. Blake Anthony St. Ange, Politics, Business concentration, cum laude. Leslie G. Surman, Interdisciplinary Studies. Noreen N. Surti, Psychology. Renee Therese Talamantes, Art, Ceramics. Nicholas Anthony Tamaro, Politics. Edgar Antonio Tavares, Business Leadership, Financial Accounting concentration. Catalina Chandler Thomas Fernandez, History, cum laude.
There's a lot of things that
Megan Mary Tinning, English, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. John Andrew Tauchi, Philosophy. Arthur Okwi Unachukwu, Philosophy and Letters. Jennifer Elise Van House, English, cum laude. Bradley Van Franken, Philosophy and Letters. Jennifer Catherine Van Zandt, Art History. Cara Ann Vaughn, Interdisciplinary Studies, the Teller Award for Education, cum laude. Chase Jameson Violet, Business Leadership. Rachel Lee Vogel, History. Stephen Mark Walk, History, German Concentration, Phi Beta Kappa, the Louis J. Lacaille Award for History, summa cum laude. Mary Elizabeth Wells, Politics. Michael Grant West, English, Politics, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Veronica Lee Whalen, English, Latin Concentration, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Catherine Ann White, English, cum laude. Rose Elizabeth White, Drama, French Concentration. Catherine Elizabeth Wolfe, English, Studio Art Concentration, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. We now present the degrees for Bachelor of Science. Christopher J. Duff, Biology, cum laude. Thomas Francis Wanderley Patrick Joseph Hine, Biology, summa cum laude. Megan Louise Norton, Biology. Adam Douglas Papania, Physics, cum laude. Catherine Marie Pasternak, Biology, cum laude. John Charles Renaud, Biochemistry, cum laude. Christopher Daniel Steno, Physics, Sigma Pi Sigma. Catherine Veronica Straub, Biochemistry, the Robert A. Welch Undergraduate Chemistry Award. Suichiro Alberto Tanaka, Biochemistry, Spanish Concentration. Tak Nhu Vu, Computer Science. Elena Marie Yates, Biology, Spanish Concentration, Phi Beta Kappa, the Sister Cladovia Lockett Scholarship, summa cum laude. Jennifer Helen Zingarelli, Biochemistry, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. As a sign of your newly conferred degree, please shift the tassel on your cap from right to left. Heartiest congratulations to you all. I invite Bishop Grauman, Chancellor of the University, to the podium for some closing remarks and a benediction.
Beloved graduates, you're in a transition mode now. You're moving from this campus and this experience of academic life to a new venture that lies before you with a lot of uncertainties. In the words of our speaker today, Archbishop Miller, whom I want to thank for his presentation, his allusions to beauty and goodness It is within reach of all of you. The tools have been provided for you by the University of Dallas, a Catholic university. Go out now in search of that goodness and beauty and make it a part of the culture of the world in which you live and the world in which all of us live. I thank you for your efforts, those of your parents and families. I thank the entire university for everything that it has done to make this experience of life possible for you. May the Lord God go with you now on the journey that lies ahead of you, give you the gifts of His Spirit, the gift of wisdom, understanding, right judgment, and the gift of courage, that you can embrace the realities and difficulties that lie ahead of you and bring to that experience the goodness and beauty which is God Himself. God bless all of you, and God love you. I invite you all to please rise now and join with me on the inside of the last page of your program, The Words of America the Beautiful. Please join in with me. Oh, beautiful.